What's good, everyone? I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway, so stay tuned for later on in this video to see how you can win this Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. It is a nice little watch right here, and I know it's not the newest watch, but this is something that I want to just give away to celebrate the growth of my channel, about to hit 2,000 subs. Stay tuned to figure out how you can enter for a chance to win this watch right here. Alright, so in this video, I want to do a quick first impressions and comparison between the Z Fold 5 and the Z Fold 6 and talk about my experience with the Fold 6 so far and how it's been having it. And also, I have a normal size phone right here, the Nothing Phone 2A, for reference in terms of screen size. When you hold these phones, you do notice the weight difference. Like, it's very apparent. Like, Fold 6 feels so much closer to a regular phone. Like, if you had an S24 Ultra, I did, then it feels really close to that. And I think on paper it is actually, decently close to the S24 Ultra's weight. It's just a really lighter foldable phone. Another thing you'll notice is the feel of the build quality and the form factor. It feels nice, bro. Like, when I first saw this design, I mentioned this in other videos, but when I first saw this boxy design, I was kind of scared like it wouldn't be comfortable. But honestly, it doesn't stab into you as much as it looks. It's pretty good. This is a comfortable phone. It's not any less comfortable than the Fold 5. Maybe like slightly, the Fold 5 just rounds off. So, it's not as sharp, I guess. It's close enough to the point where like the Fold 6 is just better because of how light it is. So this outer display on these fold phones has been a very controversial thing. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it actually. So me personally, I love the slim form factor. It's not even about the outer display. For me, it's about the slimness of the phone. Like, they can make the outer display as big as they want as long as they maintain this form factor, and that is something that Samsung has done. People say the outer display should be bigger, and so Samsung should catch up to the competition and stuff like that. But what if Samsung was going for this all along? What if this was their design philosophy for a folding phone? And you see that with the previous models. Personally, I believe that Samsung is designing a phone to be, easily accessible, one-handable, pocketable, but it opens up to be a nice little tablet device in your hand. So that's what I think the design philosophy is. And as we see, they could have made it, a full-size foldable phone to be a little bit closer to a normal phone screen size, but they didn't do that. What they did was they took their previous design and they enhanced it a little bit. So like now we have way less bezels and a slightly bigger screen for a more comfortable typing experience for a lot of people. And it's still the same form factor. It still maintains a very, very, very similar form factor. Like, it is a lot wider. Honestly, I feel like the on-paper numbers don't really do it justice of how much this phone actually changed and how much bigger the outer display is. For me, this outer display feels like really big compared to this one. Instead of just talking, let me just show you some quick examples and comparisons. This is a significant change. I feel like it's more significant than we're making it seem like. Okay, so let's say I put these phones down, they're in this mode right here where the hinge is propped up. To me, the Fold 6 looks a lot bigger and better than the Fold 5. Kind of hard to tell from this video, but like the Fold 6 is pretty decent. All right, so now I brought in the Nothing phone to play a video on that. And as you can see, this doesn't look too different from the Fold 6. Like, it's actually not that big of a difference. And the difference in watching videos is going to be even smaller compared to the OnePlus Open, because that doesn't have a full-size screen as well. It's closer than the Fold 6. This is, you can go screenshot this, share this on Reddit, share this with people who want a comparison. But Nothing Phone 2A, which is the size of the Pro Maxes, the Ultra phones, and then we got the Fold 6, Fold 5 outer displays. This is close enough in my opinion. I can comfortably walk around the house and watch a video. I can comfortably just hold this up to my face and watch a video. I can prop it down and watch a video comfortably. It feels good in my opinion. So I wanted to show you Pokemon Unite just for more reference of how different these screens are. So even for a game like this, you can see how significantly thinner the black borders are in this game, because obviously this game doesn't fit the screen perfectly. But look at how thin the borders are on this phone compared to the Fold 5. The Fold 5 has thicker black borders because the screen is a lot smaller and it doesn't fit as well. Okay, so now we're actually in game. The difference between these two is smaller than the difference between this and this for sure. However, I feel like this is a pretty significant upgrade in terms of size from the Fold 5. So I'm gonna show you close up. This is what the Fold 5 looks like, the controls, running around, using the map. It's still pretty comfortable. Like, sometimes I play like this if I'm just trying to get a quick session in. But then the Fold 6, this is a lot more comfortable and a lot closer to, a regular phone screen size. Like, this is really playable. And obviously you got a normal phone screen size. You got so much more space. It's just a more comfortable form factor for, playing a game that is designed for these kind of phones. But really, man, the difference is it's not too crazy. Like, I think the Fold 6 is, where it's at in terms of playability and combined with the one-hand usage. it's a good balance. Okay, so now I want to test out, using a browser and just going to the same website to see how much information we can see on each of these phones. So now I'm on the Samsung website. I'm going to go to the same part. So I'm going to go down and look at the difference. In terms of the information that you can actually see, it's really not that different. This is a tiny bit bigger, but then it has like these black borders at the top and the bottom. So it's really not that crazy, the difference between all these phones. Then we switch to portrait and we'll see how much information we can see like that. So this is something that like people don't take in as well with the slimmer aspect ratio phones. They are a smaller form factor, but then in terms of like the vertical content shown on the screen, these phones actually show a little bit more. As you can see, this one at the title right here, it only shows what's here. Whereas with these phones, you can see all the way down to this next menu. And it is a little bit smaller, so maybe you'll strain your eyes, but realistically, when you're holding your phone up close to your face like this, you can see everything on the page with no issue. It's not really that much different from this. So you can see a little bit more in terms of like vertical content being shown on the screen with the Fold 5 and the Fold 6. But the Fold 6 is going to be a little bit better because it's a little bit bigger. So now let's do the same test opened up because the Fold 6 and the Fold 5 do have different aspect ratios on the inside. So this is how it looks without the taskbar, and they see pretty much the same stuff. It does look like the Fold 5 sees a little bit more. As you can see, like just right here at this corner, there's a little bit more space. So it seems like the Fold 5 sees a little bit more, but that's because the Fold 5 is more narrow when it comes to the inner display aspect ratio, whereas this is a little bit more wider with the Fold 6. And then when they're rotated, it seems like the Fold 6 sees a little bit more, but that's because the Fold 6 in the landscape is a little bit taller. As you can see right here, there's a difference in terms of the height. And it can show a little bit more information than the Fold 5. So now let's bring back the taskbars. The Fold 6 is still showing, more information. As you can see right here, the Fold 5 is only showing these buttons right here on the website, whereas you can see a little bit of space and the next things, kind of. And then in terms of brightness, this is something that I'm actually excited about. The brightness being brighter, outside and stuff like that, it's a little bit more enjoyable. So I'm not actually outside, but I want to show you the brightness in direct glare from the window that is open in this room, just for you to see the difference in brightness. Both of these screens are actually on. They're just at the lowest brightness setting, so I'm gonna actually show them to direct sunlight and let's see what happens with the auto brightness. So auto brightness brought this one up to this. Then we got the Fold 6. That one turned up a little bit faster. And I'm just gonna put them at the max now. So it's kind of hard to see on camera, and there might not even be like a big difference, but the Fold 6 definitely looks more blown out than the Fold 5. With the glare, it's definitely gonna be a better experience. This is not like a realistic test. The difference is there. You could definitely feel it. You definitely see it outside. It's an enjoyable change for me. But yeah, going back to, my first impressions of the Fold 6 and comparing to the Fold 5, outside of like the physical appearance of the phone, the obvious changes, one thing that has been nice is the video editing experience. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the same project from the Fold 6 to the Fold 5. It might not be an accurate representation because sustained performance is the most important thing. Just starting up a program, you might not have any issues with the phone being at like a decent temperature. But as you continue to do things for a longer time, then that's when you start to see lagging and stuttering and the phone throttling to lower the heat. So now I have the same project on both of these phones, so I'm just gonna scroll through and see what's good. Okay. So it feels pretty smooth. LumaFusion just doesn't show you the playback in real time when you're scrolling, unless you do it like this. So yeah, it's pretty smooth on the Fold 6. Now Fold 5, do the same things. Zoom out a little bit. Fold 5 feels pretty smooth right now as expected. Like I said before, when you video edit for a long time, that's when you start to see performance dips and stuttering and stuff like that. But right now it feels pretty smooth on both of them. So what I'm gonna do now, it's my daughter. Yeah. Okay, ready, Eliana? Watch this. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna export the video. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna export the same video at the same settings and just see which one is faster, just to give you a kind of like a quick idea. But this is nothing super in-depth. I'm gonna actually have a lot more in-depth comparisons, video editing comparisons, gaming comparisons, sustained performance comparison, just testing these phones to the extreme just to see, how much of an improvement is the Fold 6 in terms of all that stuff. At the moment, like I said, my first impression is that the Fold 6 is performing a lot better in video editing. I actually edited a couple of videos. All the Fold 6 videos that you see on my channel right now, the S Pen video, the camera comparison, first impressions, all that stuff has been edited on the Z Fold 6. So it's been a pretty good experience compared to the Fold 5, I can't lie. But let's get into this export test. So movie. So we're at 4K resolution. I'm gonna go to ultra for the video quality, the bit rate. I'm actually going to use my watch Ultra, to time this. So let's go. We'll just start it with that. And then at 5 seconds, I'll start. Okay, that's both of them. Let's see what happens. We got my timer going. Fold 6 took around 5 minutes and 38 seconds or something like that. And then the Fold 5 is still going on. Fold 6 was able to export this 4K 14-minute video around like 10 to 15 seconds faster than the Fold 5, as expected. I wasn't expecting the export times to be that different because in reality, on paper, the performance gains are only around 20%. That's what Samsung was advertising. So it's not going to be too crazy. However, the gains that I'm mostly interested in are, sustained performance. So how long the phone can last while doing extreme tasks like video editing and stuff like that. Gaming in a high graphical game, how long can it do that without like stuttering and, giving problems and stuff like that. And after it starts throttling and stuttering, how is the performance? Is it terrible where I don't want to play anymore, or is it manageable? So after editing, the phones are a little bit warm to the touch, both of them. And I'm just going to see playback, see if it's good. So Fold 6 is playing back pretty nicely. Fold 5 also looks like it's playing back nicely. I'm going to go to a random point in the video. Press play there. And both of them are playing fine. So after exporting, 5 minutes of exporting, performance is decent on both of them still. So like I said before, make sure you're subscribed so that you can catch future videos where I go super in depth in terms of performance and seeing how these phones actually stack up against each other in all these heavy tasks. So you don't want to miss those videos because they're coming soon. But yeah, that's basically it for this comparison, this first impressions video of the Fold 6 and how it's been. The thinness, everybody's been talking about that, and it is definitely a big improvement. I love the new design. I love how it feels in the hand. I think these phones just are nice. Oh, this is actually funny. If you put them together, they both think the phone is closed. So they're showing the outer displays. That's kind of funny. But yeah, Fold 6 is a really nice upgrade. It actually feels nice to hold. And it feels more grippable because of the boxy edges. I don't know how to explain it. The screens, both screens actually feel bigger. The outer display feels like a really big change, even though on paper it's not that big of a difference. That's the Z Fold 6 so far. So now let's get into the giveaway. So I'm giving away this Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. It is the smaller version of the Classics, and it is LTE. So, if you have a phone plan and you want to get LTE on your watch, you can do that with this watch. So how you can enter to get this watch is obviously subscribing, number one. Comment down below your thoughts on the Z Fold 6 and hashtag giveaway. And then the third thing for extra entries is to follow me on Instagram. At JamalT.Lee on Instagram, you can find me there and you can follow me and you will get an extra entry. So you just gotta let me know that you did that. But that's how you can enter to get this Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. I know it's not the newest watch, but this is what I can do right now for a smaller channel. And I'm just celebrating getting to 2,000 subs. I never thought I would be able to do that. And it's been nice so far. So hopefully we can get to 200,000 this year. You already know what it is. Z Fold 6. A lot more videos on the way. We out. Peace.